pictorial standpoint, the center of your universe on this problem is at 150, and standard deviation steps are still 24. And you've been told to move 2.5 standard deviations below the mean. So 1 full step, a second full step, and now a half a step. Well, 1 full step is 24 units, leaving me at 126. A second step leaves me at 102. And now a half step, and if the step is 24 units, is 12. So now 102 minus the 12 should put me at a value of 90. There's the step-by-step approach to the problem. Or the other alternative is, from 150, I am moving to the left, a negative direction, 2.5 complete steps, which is kind of what the formula tells us to do. That puts it all into 1 step in the exercise. Now I come back and I say, well, if I started at 150 and I took 2.5 full standard deviations away from that, I'm still in exactly the same place. And if I did the formula, that'd be the same kind of problem. What's your position if you took 2.5 standard deviations away from the mean, where a standard deviation step was 24? There's the formula. The formula is solving an equation. And that's part of the reason why we did some solving of equations at the very beginning, because we didn't know where you were going to feel comfortable. Some people feel comfortable with the graphic. I think the graphic is a great way to be able to do the problem, because it never forces me to do much more than halves or tenths or something like that. But my conceptual beginning and ending is equally good as well. But if formula, if you subtract wrong with the formula, you put the wrong number in the wrong place, it gives you a positive where you should have got a negative, etc., like that. But think about this. If the first thing in this problem, if we were trying to solve this particular problem here, the first thing that I would probably start off doing would be to say, on this side of the problem, I want to multiply by 24 over 1 to kill out the fraction, which means I need to multiply by 24 over here. So now I'm going to have whatever 24 times a negative 2.5 happens to be. 60. And now that leaves me x minus 150. And now I would say, well, now I got to get rid of the 150, so I turn around here and I say I'm going to add 150 to both sides of the problem. And if I add 150 to both sides of the problem, look where I end up. 150 minus 2.5 times the 24 to give me my x value, exactly the same place that I ended up if I did it this way. So if I solve the equation just as a pure algebra problem, I got to get rid of the fraction, and I got to get rid of the multiplication problem. Now, I chose not to physically do that multiplication problem, but we certainly could have if we wanted to. We're still going to take whatever that value is and add it to the 150, or subtract it from the 150. So really, it's up to you. And that's probably between those two types of problems you just looked at and the 68, 90, 95, 99.7 rule, you're probably looking at 8 of the questions on the test right there. At least 6, I'm sure, okay? And then we did a proportion problem. So yeah, you've seen probably very close to half the problems, over half the problems that we could give you on the test, minus the vocabulary-based things, or plus the vocabulary-based things. And we still haven't even talked about the 5-number summary and its significance, which will be pretty much the rest of the problems, other than having to do some simple mean and median and mode type things, which will be calculated as far as. So let's jump. I don't remember if I'm forward or backward from what I did. We haven't done this one yet, okay?